Hi everybody, this is Alchemist2, and I'm back again with another book review. Recently, I finished The Mark of Athena by Riordan, who is actually one of my favorite writers of all time. He, excuse me, he was responsible for writing the Percy Jackson series, which I really love, and I heard that they're making Sea of Monsters, and I hope it's not anything like the first film, although in the first film really wasn't that bad, but there was no Annabeth, and yeah, I was not too happy about that. I just didn't think that was a good call, because she was very important since the very first book, but yeah, what are you gonna do? Back to the book itself. The Mark of Athena has to be my absolute favorite book in this series because it mixes Roman mythos along with the Greek mythos. And I really like Greek mythology better, honestly, just because it's really interesting. But the Romans themselves, they borrowed from the Greeks, if I could say so, without getting flames thrown my way. But it discusses the hatred between the Greeks and the Romans, and that's why a lot of wars were started, and it really makes a lot of sense if you think about it. Of course, this is a book about fantastical battles, so we all know that it's fiction. Yet it takes an interesting twist on the whole idea of battles and wars and skirmishes, and it's really quite fascinating. And Riordan has a way of really reeling you in with the way he words his scenes, and I actually had a chill running down my spine when he starts describing Annabeth's journey into Arachne's cave. Yeah, that was really spooky, I thought. I don't have arachnophobia, but Arachne is a very disturbing character. And knowing what I know about Greek mythology and legend, I just absolutely ate this up from beginning to end. And it left everything open, though, at the very, very ending, which I knew was going to happen. I thought there's going to be another book out after this one. And there is. I don't know if it'll be the culmination of everything. I hope it is, but we'll see. It's coming out in fall of 2013, and luckily I have Artemis Fowl, which I'm reading right now. It's really short, the last of the Artemis Fowl books, and Serpent's Shadow, and of course I've got The Beyonders, written by Brandon Mull. So I have quite a few fantasy books that I'm going to be reading in the near future. And I've got Blind Man's Bluff, which is a book by Peter David. It's another New Frontier, which I just love those books so much. I'm such a geek about those books that I really want to meet Peter David or Riordan. I don't care who, or Mull, any of those writers. I would just be tickled pink because their words really inspire me. They write in such a vivid, lucid, vibrant way that you cannot put the book down, and all the characters we know and love are involved in this book. You've got Frank, you've got Nico D'Angelo, you've got Hazel. Hazel is amazing. Hazel's backstory is really complicated, though. If you read this particular book, you think, whoa, that's really Whovian, but it's true. It truly is. If you get into it, it just really made me think of so many things that I see in Doctor Who that I thought, ugh, this stuff will make your head hurt. I absolutely adored the book. I thought that it was action-packed. There was a romantic angle again between Percy and Annabeth, which I absolutely love. That ship in and of itself I highly support. As for Hazel, I like she and Leo together. Though Frank likes her too, so she's in a bit of a pickle. But I really want her to be paired with Leo, just because I think it makes more sense. But what are you gonna do? It's great that he can transform into different animals, and he's kind of like Beast Boy in a way. You know, I never thought of it that way, but I thought, oh, he's Beast Boy, but basically that's who he's like. All of the different characters have their own abilities based on the gods that they were spawned from, which I absolutely love, and I just eat all this stuff up, and it's where I really thrive. I thrive in mythology, so this is my stomping ground. This is my terra firma, baby. I adore it, and I have to say that this book, The Mark of Athena, is my absolute favorite. I think it is the acme of all the books that Riordan has written so far, which is saying a lot because I really respect this man. I give The Mark of Athena 2 thumbs up, 5 stars, without a doubt. If you haven't read the Lost Heroes of Olympus, you have to start from the very beginning. But I would say don't start with that, because it's an entirely different. Well, it's actually, in and of itself, you could start the Lost Heroes of Olympus by itself, and not having to have had gone back to the original Lightning Thief and Sea of Monsters and the subsequent books down the line. But you could start with Lost Heroes, and in and of itself, it lends itself to an entirely different world, and you get to the Roman mythology, which makes it even more rich and lush, and really it's absolutely sensational. And if kids don't enjoy Greek mythology, this is the way to get them into it. They need to read these books because they are fantastic. And I really didn't need any priority to get into Greek myth, because I already loved Greek myth from the very beginning, and I'll tell you why. I saw the original Clash of the Titans. This is because my mom introduced me to it, and my favorite scene, I always remembered when Perseus was going through the labyrinth, and he's got the shield up, and he's protecting himself from Medusa's glare, and you see Medusa, and she's this absolutely grotesque creature, but the way that she was built in the stop motion, I thought, oh my gosh, she's gorgeous. I mean, I couldn't help it. I was just so overcome. Same thing with Pegasus. When I saw Pegasus the first time, I just thought, this is amazing. I absolutely loved it. I couldn't get enough mythology, so I had to really get into mythology later on, and I'm hoping I can actually read some more mythology, because I just really enjoy it, and it's given me so much fodder to write about. And I don't know what those people, I don't know what they were inspired by. If you watch Ancient Aliens, they have a lot of theories about that, but I won't really go into that without going into a different topic, and unless you're like me and have kind of a secret crush on Giorgio Tsoukalos, but I won't go into that either, sorry. But hot. Sorry, I really like Giorgio, because he's very intelligent and very enigmatic and everything I want in a man. I did it again. But anywho, I really enjoy the book in and of itself, and I think it deserves a good look at. If you're like me and enjoy mythology, you'll have no trouble reading it. It was fast for me. I got it finished in like a couple days. Unless you have a job, which it actually took me more than a couple days. Had I not been working, it would have taken me 2 days. But anywho, I severely, sincerely exceptionally, extraordinarily enjoyed this book, and I think it is a real testament to how a really good children's book should be written. And if anybody's really looking to write a book that captivates a child's imagination, this is it. This is a book that will get them not only captivated or transfixed, but will get them interested. It's kind of like with Scott, with Michael Scott. If you've ever read his books, he also does this with The Immortal Life of Nicholas Flamel, which I did a review of that, and of course Alchemist 2, you figure where my screen name comes from, but that was when I was introducing myself a long time ago. Back in the day! I really enjoyed this book, and currently I'm reading Artemis Fowl, the final book, and I'm really getting into it. It's amazing, but I will do a review of that as soon as I'm done with it. It'll probably go a lot quicker than this review that I posted now. And all I have to say is Mark of Athena is just absolutely sensational. It is a phenomenal book. It is tremendously written, just sparkling with wit and imagination and humor like you would expect from Riordan's prior books. I am so excited to hear of Sea of Monsters. I don't really know if there will be a version of Jason and the Argonauts. Of course, I've seen the remake of Clash of the Titans, which I love, even though the original in my heart of hearts is my favorite, and it's a sentimental thing for me because my mother introduced that to me, and I can still hear her say, "Release the Kraken!" And I just absolutely loved it. It's just one of those things. I mean, if you were in my family, you'd understand how insane we are, but, well, yeah, we're a bunch of nerds, but release the Kraken. Anywho, I've been one of those weird moods tonight. That's all I have to say about the Mark of Athena, and if you have a chance to pick it up, read it. It's really a splendiferous journey. It is an adventure that you will not regret taking. It is just one of those books that will completely bewitch you and never let you go.